and doctors say they did everything that they could for her. Unfortunately, she had a high degree of severe burns, and that led to multi-organ failure and eventually to her death early this morning at the hospital in Kenya. And her family blaming the government for this. Her mom and dad said they had previously reported it to authorities. They went to the police, to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, and said this man is problematic. We think she went to Uganda, he followed her there. They reported it, and they say if authorities had taken any action, if they had taken this seriously, it would have saved Rebecca Cheptegei's life. Unfortunately, they didn't, and this is her mother today.
She was a good child, very polite, and she didn't have a lot of issues. I just don't know.
The family is distraught. They say that they don't feel action has been taken against this man who did this to her. She was admitted with 75% of burns on her body. It was very hard for her to survive that. They want action taken against him. They fear that he may flee the country and essentially escape justice, Amanda.
And, I mean, really sadly, Larry, this is not the first time we're talking about this kind of incident, is it? It's not an isolated case. Female athletes, in particular, as victims of domestic violence in Kenya.
Sadly, no. In 2021, Agnes Tirop, another Olympic athlete, was found stabbed in her own house. And the suspect in that case was her own husband. 6 months later, another Kenyan athlete, Damaris Mutua, was found with a pillow. She had been suffocated and strangled in her own house. The suspect in that case, her boyfriend. The issues of femicide are alive and real in the athletics industry in Kenya. And now Amnesty International Kenya calling for the government of Kenya to criminalize femicide as a crime on its own. There's the law that needs to be done to make that happen, but also authorities need to take serious action against intimate partner violence, which happens in lots of other relationships. But these three cases happening so soon next to each other really bring the issue of femicide for female athletes in Kenya to the fore, and waiting for any kind of action from legislators, from authorities in Kenya to make sure that athletes who bring so much glory to their country don't suffer this kind of violence. Across Kenya and Uganda today, so much pain and loss because she was an Olympic athlete. She was probably going to go on to do some great things in her career, and sadly, her life cut short, Amanda.